What's up, friends? It's Ben, and I wanted to tell you about my end of the year surveys. So every year at the end of the year, like in the last 2 weeks of school, I always give my kids surveys just because I want their feedback on what they thought was good, what they liked and enjoyed in PE class, what they didn't like, some things that they would have changed, some things that we didn't do that they wish we would have done, what the most important things they learned were, and then also I asked them to give advice to future students. So I just like to see what kind of things would they tell someone else to try to give them advice. This year I switched from paper pencil, thank goodness, and got my digital technology game on. We have an iPad lab with 13 iPads that our school allows teachers to rent out, and so I was able to rent these out, and so I set up a Google form connected to this QR code, which is really simple. You can just Google how to use a QR code. You just create the form, put in the link, and then it gives you a code. And that just allows me to easily access it on an iPad, so you can scan the QR code. Really, the kids don't even use this as much because once it's on the Google Forms survey page, they just take the survey, and then there's a button when they finish that says submit. They submit their answers, and then they hit provide another response and hand it to the next person. So since I only have 13 iPads, the way I've been doing this, which has been working out pretty well, is the kids partner up, and then one person does the survey. They spread out in the middle of the gym, and then the second partner, who's not taking the survey, does a quick warm-up. If you want to know what kind of warm-ups I do, you can check the link below. We have a few different options for kids usually, and they get to choose what they would like to do. So then when their partner finishes the survey, they will find their friend that's warming up. They will hand them the iPad, and then they fill out the survey. And it's saved me so much time. It takes about the same time as a paper pencil test, honestly. The kids get excited about using the iPads, and it saves me so much time in compiling the answers because Google Forms puts it all in a bar graph spreadsheet and makes it super simple. So the whole process was a little bit of work to set up, but now I can continue to use the same format, and it'll be much easier in the future. If you want to use my survey that I set up and modify it for yourself, you can make a copy of it. I'll put a link below if you want to do that. And I highly recommend getting feedback. I'm going to show you guys what the results look like. So if you want to check this next clip, I'll screencast some of the results so you can see what the feedback looks like from my students.
All right, so this is the end of the year physical education survey. So this is what it looks like when the kids scan the QR code or when they open up the iPad. They just check what grade they're in. Then they can type in what the most important thing they learned in PE was. After that, they're going to check the different units that they thought were their favorite activities. Obviously, you're going to change those. If you use this survey, you're going to change those to line up with whatever you taught during the year. So that's one of the things I will change each year, since I don't always teach the same thing every year, since I do not have time to fit everything in. So I'll do like a 2-year rotation on different units. And then these are the least favorite things. So just interested in knowing what the least favorite things are. And what are some things they wish we had done that we did not do? And then what's some advice they can give to people who be in P next year? And then there's a little blue submit button. So then they hit that, and then they will give the iPad to their partner. So this is what the responses look like after one day. So this is just 2nd through 5th, and only one class of each group. So you can just have a list of all the things that they thought was the most important thing. So as you can see, it's pretty big variety. But I like reading through and seeing the kids that have like good sportsmanship or confidence or keep going, team building, and those kind of things. Some kids had a really long answer that was pretty cool to go through and read. So I love having these on digital format, not having to go and like compile all the answers. Google Forms does it for you. So right here you can see all of the different activities and where they lined up. So some of the favorite activities were team building games, which is great because that's one of my favorite things to teach, which probably relates to why it was the kids' favorite, because I have fun doing it. So it makes it more fun for them. Throwing games, Foursquare is a big one, and then gymnastics. So we'll see what happens as the rest of the kids. This is only one day down, so I have 4 more days of answers. So we'll see what happens when the rest of the kids give their answers. Then the least favorite activities, fitness tests. So that is some good feedback from me. I I'm trying to think of a better way to do fitness testing. And so I'm glad to know that 35% of the kids, that's their least favorite thing, because I need to find a different way to do that if that's the case. Then some things that you wish we'd done. Obviously, we're going to have dodgeball in there, football, and pull-up tests, doing backflips when kids wanted to do like trampoline things. We didn't do baseball this year, so some of the kids put baseball. And yeah, so just some different ideas for you to see what your kids are interested in. And then advice to students next year. This is a really fun one to read. There you go. Pay attention. Almost everything Coach Landers says is valuable info. Man, I like that student, whoever that was. So just interesting things to go through and read. Last year, you can check out the post link. You'll see a Wordle poster. So I made a little poster with all the advice on there that students gave in the surveys that I did in previous years. So anyways, I'm really liking this Google Forms. I can't believe I've never done this before, and I highly recommend checking it out, especially if you have access to iPads. Like I said, I only have 13 iPads, so for a class of 26, I partner them up, and we split up half and half. Half the class warms up, and half the class takes the survey, and then they switch. And so far, it's been working pretty well. Hope that's helpful, and hope you have an amazing day. Have fun, and teach on. Later, guys.